So in this class, in the first topic, we shall discuss opportunity cost. So this is also one of the concept of cost. Actually, this opportunity cost is having a great significance or great importance in modern economics. So before giving you the definition of opportunity cost, let us just give an illustration or example how this opportunity cost is all about. So suppose you have 10 rupees with you. So for that 10 rupees, let us say you bought a cup of coffee which is costing 10 rupees. So 10 rupees is the price or selling price for the cup of coffee. So have you ever thought of a cost that is involved in buying the cup of coffee apart from the selling price that you pay to the shopkeeper or coffee shop? So opportunity cost involves when you buy the cup of coffee for a 10 rupees. So what happens is when you buy that cup of coffee for 10 rupees, you could have also bought a pen which is costing the same amount, that is 10 rupees, but you bought a cup of coffee instead of a pen. So they are costing the same amount, but instead of buying a pen, you bought a cup of coffee. So in this example, what is the opportunity cost of coffee, apart from the selling price that you gave to the shopkeeper? So opportunity cost of one coffee equals to one pen here, because instead of buying a pen, you're buying a cup of coffee. But you could have bought a pen for 10 rupees, but you just bought a cup of coffee. So the opportunity cost of that cup of coffee is one pen. So that is the concept behind opportunity cost. So what exactly is opportunity cost in the definition? So it is the next best alternative good that is sacrificed or that is forgone or given up. So I have given you an example from the consumer's point of view. So it is applied even for the producer's point of view. Suppose you can produce a cup of coffee or either a pen. So the resources that you use to produce a cup of coffee can be also used to produce a pen. So in that way, the opportunity cost in production of coffee will be the production cost for the production of one pen. So that is the opportunity cost. So it is the next best alternative good that is sacrificed. So you could have, in our example, you could have, bought a pen instead of cup of coffee, but you sacrificed buying a pen and you bought a cup of coffee. So the opportunity cost is the next best alternative good that is sacrificed, that you have sacrificed or that you have forgone or that you have given up. You have given up to buy a pen and you bought a cup of coffee. So that is the opportunity cost. One pen is the opportunity cost of producing a cup of coffee. So according to Professor Benham, who is also a renowned modern economics, opportunity cost of anything is the next best alternative that could have produced or that could be produced instead by the same factors, costing the same amount of money. So Professor Benham is talking about, producer's point of view. It is nothing but the next best alternative that could have been produced instead by the same factors, costing the same amount of money. So it is the next best alternative that the producer could have produced. That is the opportunity cost. So you have to keep in mind that not any other alternative good, but that could be produced with the same factors and most valuable than the other good. So it should be the next best. So most valuable other good. It should not be any other good, but the next best or the most valuable other good. So according to Robbins, who is also an famous or fundamental economist, he has also given the famous definition of economics goes in terms of scarcity of resources. So it is Robbins who have given the definition of economics in terms of scarcity of resources. And again, if you think about it, this opportunity cost comes about because of the scarcity of resources. So if there is no scarcity of resources, the term or the concept opportunity cost might not have been discussed by us, since resources are scarce. The resources which we use for production of goods and commodities are scarce. That is why we are discussing the opportunity cost concept. So according to Robbins, if production of one good is increased, then the production of one good has to be decreased because resources is scarce. So if you want to increase the production of one commodity, let us say coffee, then you have to withdraw a amount of resources from producing a pen. So if you want to increase one commodity, then you have to decrease one commodity. For example, if you want to increase production of coffee in our example, you have to reduce or withdraw some resources from the production of a pen. So in this line, opportunity cost concept comes here. So as we have explained, opportunity cost is nothing but the next best alternative good that you have sacrificed to produce this particular commodity. So opportunity cost of a good can be given a monetary value. So this cost, which is opportunity cost, we can give a monetary value. Why? Because suppose you are a producer and then you want to produce a commodity. What you do? You employ factors of production such as land, labor, capital, and all those things. And for that, you have to give them payment in the form of wages, interest, profit, rent, all those. So you have to pay for this using of factors of production. So these factors have alternative uses. So as I have said, the factors or the resources or the inputs, they have alternative uses. So these factors should be paid at least the price they are able to obtain in the next best alternative uses. So we can give a monetary value to opportunity cost. And what you have to do as a producer, you want to produce a good, you employ factors of production, and when you employ, you pay them for using their services or factors or inputs. So again, these factors that you are using for production, they have alternative uses. That is why you have to pay for these factors at least the prices they are able to obtain in the next best alternative uses. So if you want to employ people working in the coffee shop, if you don't want them to go away, you have to pay the wages which will let them stay in the coffee shop and not go away to the firm of producing a pen, production of pen. So here they are trying to say that you pay the amount to the factors, at least the price they are able to obtain in the next best alternative uses. So you should not pay less than the amount that they can earn when they are put to alternative uses. That is the point. So in conclusion, what we can make is the relative prices of goods tends to reflect their opportunity cost. So prices of coffee will tend to reflect the opportunity cost of a pen. So price of a coffee, that is price of a goods, tends to reflect their opportunity cost. So in our example, it was cost of pen. So relative prices of goods, they reflect the opportunity cost. So that is all about opportunity cost. So opportunity cost is nothing but the next best alternative good that is sacrificed or forgone or given up. In case of production and in case of consumers, it is the next best alternative commodity that you sacrifice in order to get the commodity that you buy. So in our example, the opportunity cost of a coffee was 1 pen. So you bought a coffee instead of a pen. So for that 10 rupees, same 10 rupees, you could have bought either a pen or a coffee, but you bought a coffee. So the opportunity cost for buying that coffee is 1 pen, because it is the next best alternative good that you have given up or that you have sacrificed. Some examples of opportunity cost, like the factors of production that you use for manufacturing a car can also be used for production of equipment for the army. So for factors or resources can be used for either producing a car, manufacturing a car, or you can also use that factors for producing an equipment for an army. Therefore, the opportunity cost for production of a car is the output of the army equipment forgone or sacrificed. So you could have either produced a car, or you could have made use of these factors of production in producing an output for army equipment. So the opportunity cost of production of a car will be the output of the army equipment that you have forgone or that you have sacrificed. And again, to take another example, a farmer who is producing wheat, he can also produce potatoes with the same factors. Therefore, the opportunity cost of a quintal of wheat is the amount of output of potatoes given up. So a farmer can either produce a potatoes or a wheat. So let us say he is producing a wheat. So the opportunity cost for producing a wheat will be the output that he will be producing when he is producing a potato. So that is the example of the opportunity cost.